Had to have high hopes for a minute. Looking for the thought I didn't know I had a minute. Gotta have high hopes.
I cannot believe it still exists somewhere within my brain.
Yeah, it'll
like
always
riding
be
a bike.
Yep. Thank you, Pete Buttigieg, for that.
And Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, folks, in a year that's been truly uniquely terrible, when genuinely good things happen, you just gotta live out a little bit.
And you have full permission to do so.
And that's even when the good thing that happened is something that a lot of libs clearly didn't want because their only ideology is preserving the status quo.
But they will be very quick to reverse everything they said.
They better.
Yeah.
They better.
Yeah.
In spite of all of the gutter racism and fear-mongering, on a level that we haven't seen since the early 2000s, Zohran Mamdani is officially the next mayor of New York City. And in spite of all the money Andrew Cuomo spent, and the name recognition, and the support he received not only from the Democratic establishment, but also the Republican establishment, he ate shit twice against the same guy, just months apart. Turns out, when you actually offer everyday voters a vision for a better future instead of the same old bullshit, they'll vote for that.
But when is he gonna go to Tel Aviv?
I don't think the voters care. It would seem.
They clearly do not.
Yeah. You offer them something, they'll vote for you, even when the powers that be just relentlessly try to stop them. And you love to see it.
And in increasingly disgusting ways as it got closer and closer to Election Day, like straight up gross stuff that was being posted by elected officials, sitting elected officials, like videos of the Twin Towers getting hit.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
Well, you seemed like you forgot.
Well, what makes this one even more impressive is that even if Curtis Sliwa had dropped out, like so many were begging him to do, and all of Sliwa's voters had actually switched their vote to Cuomo, Cuomo still would have lost.
Yeah, and Sliwa was saying, I don't know if he's telling the truth here, but he said, like, he was offered a combined amount of, like, bribes. Like, it added up to more money than my father made in his entire life to drop out. But nah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Fuck Andrew Cuomo.
At one point, a couple weeks ago, he was offered a gig with the Cuomo campaign and potentially some position of power in New York. And he said, no, Cuomo's a piece of shit. I don't want anything to do with him.
You got to respect it.
Yeah, like, if nothing else, this guy's true to his word and seems to be exactly who he is.
He is a character.
Andrew Cuomo, the former New York governor and son of one of New York's most beloved former governors, lost the New York City Democratic mayoral primary back in June pretty decisively against a relatively unknown Muslim socialist. And what usually happens is the candidate who wins that primary, in this case Zohran Mamdani, goes on to absolutely crush the Republican and third-party whack jobs in the general election. But this time, Cuomo and the wealthy establishment who backed him said, fuck democracy, and essentially demanded a do-over, with Cuomo re-entering the race as an independent. NYC Democratic Party voters picked Zohran Mamdani, and in response, Andrew Cuomo, a bunch of millionaires and billionaires, much of the media, and even much of NYC's Democratic Party establishment set out to undermine the will of the people. And the only lesson they seem to have learned from the primary was that they needed to get more racist. Let's take... Because that was what was great about his campaign, is he just kept driving home the affordability crisis and clear ideas on how he would like to fix it and how he would do that. And the entire time during the mayoral debates, they just tried to get him on these weird culture war issues or just blatant racism. And it seems like voters saw right through that, and they're just like, well, how does this help me?
Yeah, trying to paint one of the most chill, upbeat, positive people in politics today as an existential threat to large portions of the country.
Yes, the guy
didn't play very well, and it is funny in like a lot of the analysis. They're just like, it was very stupid to keep on hammering on that because I'm sorry, most Democrats in this country fucking hate Israel right now. Like, that wasn't always the case, but it is now. The more you bring this up, the more they like him.
And by the way, record turnout. A record number of votes.
Yeah.
For, the past 50 years or something like that? It was crazy.
Yeah. So we got months of the Cuomo campaign and the mainstream media treating the question of whether Zohran Mamdani wants all Jews to die as a very serious concern that's worth raising repeatedly, despite Zohran making it clear over and over again that just because he's Muslim and against Israel's genocide in Gaza doesn't mean he's going to enact Communist Sharia Holocaust 9/11 Part 2 in New York City.
Yes, the guy who's DJing at the gay nightclub at 1 a.m. is going to enact Sharia law.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. But yeah, with Cuomo and the mainstream media, they at least kind of tried to be sort of subtle about it, though not always. But in right-wing media and online, the bigotry was much more direct. It was pretty reminiscent of when Barack Obama ran for president in 2008. Obama isn't even Muslim, but he's got a Muslim-sounding name, and he's black, so it was open season for some pretty insane gutter racism from conservatives and liberals alike. And you can draw a direct line from that to Trump's political ascendance, considering he was one of the biggest promoters of the idea that Obama wasn't even a natural-born citizen. But I digress, just pointing that out.
Yeah, it of course wasn't just Mamdani's race and religion that made people lose their minds. He's also pretty young, at just 34 years old. And despite being involved in politics for the past decade and serving in the state assembly for the past 5 years, and despite the clearly massive amount of effort he put into campaigning, they talked about him as if he'd never worked a day in his life. They also called him a Nepo baby, which is very rich considering Andrew Cuomo is the scion of a New York political dynasty. But even for folks who didn't immediately put on their Klan hoods, the second Mamdani won the primary, there were, of course, huge concerns about his radical left-wing agenda to try to make one of the most expensive cities on earth a little bit easier for normal working people to exist in.
No.
Very shocking. Now, the way they talked about him, you'd think they were talking about Mao Zedong or Fidel Castro. But it's literally just a bunch of social democrat policies that have been successfully tried in Europe and North America, including the U.S.
No one has ever done these. It's radical. It's going to bankrupt the city. People are going to flee. It's going to be cats and dogs getting married.
Not that anything has ever been, has been enacted yet, or don't know if it will or not, but the way that I would pitch this to New Yorkers, especially extremely wealthy ones, is you, through however are blessed to have that money and live in a beautiful city, a vibrant city, and the amount of money that you are supposedly going to get taxed in order to have things like free buses and childcare is so small, but yet you should be so proud of it that you can say that you are actively contributing to a city that is vibrant, growing, happy. The employees that you employ don't have things to worry about as much. Consider it a fucking donation, dude. You've gotten so much from the city.
No, I need all of my employees to commute 2 hours each way.
Yeah.
And pay tunnel fees and bridge fees to get here. The only people who are allowed to live here are people like me. If rich assholes who definitely weren't born here.
That's if you are wealthy enough to get hit by a presumptive Mamdani tax, you should be proud to pay that because you're doing fucking awesome in one of the greatest cities on earth.
Yeah, also New York has historically been a great example of in order for a city of that size and density to function properly, you do need a lot of social programs.
Yes.
It works out great. The best park in the world is communally shared by the people of New York, and a lot of other great infrastructure and programs and whatnot.
New York is
good stuff.
It's a perfect and unique example because anyone who hasn't been to New York City, especially conservative, has this image in their mind of the Warriors.
The Warriors, yeah.
And considering how many fucking people live there, and just the density of it all, it is astonishing how beautiful and clean it is.
Yeah. It's a city.
Yeah, it has its problems, but
but it's a pretty great city.
Yeah.
Greatest city in the world, some would say. Not me. But yeah, then there's the annoying concern trolling responses to Zohran's candidacy, maybe the ones that annoyed me the most, which was basically, well, yeah, those policies would be nice, but do you seriously believe that he's going to be able to implement them? No, he probably won't be able to implement all of his policy goals because politicians are almost never able to do that. It's sort of a basic thing about politics that you understand. What matters is he wants to at least try. And he isn't doing the typical 21st century Democrat thing of saying, well, sure, that would be nice, but a better world it's not possible. And the best I can offer you is preserving some of the status quo while everything else gets worse. Please vote for me.
Get whoever is standing in the way to show that they are standing in the way and say, well, there you go. We tried to do it. Here's what's standing in the way, everyone.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what are we doing? If you're not trying to shift the Overton window, you'll never get there.
Better things are not possible.
Republicans have been trying to do what they're doing now for 45 years.
Yeah, this is, Republicans for half a century were like, we're going to ban abortion. People were like, okay, okay, buddy. But they kept at it, and look where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's almost certainly going to be compromises made in enacting this agenda, but at least they're not preemptive compromises like the kind Democrats love to do. He's going to fight to make things better, not just stop things from getting worse. And that's clearly a more inspiring message for voters than what the Andrew Cuomos of the world are offering, especially right now, considering everything going on.
I'd love to point out the fact that, he immediately, he called out Cuomo, which was very funny. I hope to never hear your name again.
I do too.
But he immediately called out Donald Trump, which is another thing that is sometimes rare from the establishment Democrat Party, which when they get elected, they always want to reach across the aisle and work together. And
fuck that.
Where has that gotten us? No, these people don't want to work with you. Tell them to fuck off.
But yeah, the optimism and pugnaciousness was on full display in Mamdani's victory speech. Here's a few clips of that.
For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name as we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few. Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Tonight we have spoken in a clear voice. Hope is alive. This will be an age where New Yorkers expect from their leaders a bold vision of what we will achieve, rather than a list of excuses for what we are too timid to attempt. Central to that vision will be the most ambitious agenda to tackle the cost of living crisis that this city has seen since the days of Fiorella LaGuardia. In this new age we make for ourselves, we will refuse to allow those who traffic in division and hate to pit us against one another. In this moment of political darkness, New York will be the light. Here, we believe in standing up for those we love. Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too. As has so often occurred, the billionaire class has sought to convince those making $30 an hour that their enemies are those earning $20 an hour. They want the people to fight amongst ourselves so that we remain distracted from the work of remaking a long broken system. And if there is any way to terrify a despot, it is by dismantling the very conditions that allowed him to accumulate power. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you turn the volume up. So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
So Zohran Mamdani and the people who elected him are feeling optimistic about the future. But what about the people who aren't? I'm waiting. Where are all your Zillow listings? I want to see your properties up for sale. It's time to check in on the coping and the seething that's happening this week in New York City and around the country. A lot from people who don't even live in that state.
Yeah. Weirdly, on X, a lot of people in India very upset about this.
One of the funniest takes was Ian Miles Chong, who was critical of Zohran Mamdani, but very particularly did not call him out for being a Muslim.
Because he
called
literally
him out for being Ugandan,
Yeah.
because he would get fucking captured.
Yeah, he lives in a country where the official state religion is Islam.
Yeah. He's like, you could never trust a Ugandan. It's like, it is just very funny that you can't say what you really want to say right now. Anyways, let's start in the category of, actually, this doesn't really matter or mean anything. And no, I'm not mad. Here's Fox News' Laura Ingraham with the Chiron, by winning, Democrats are actually losing.
Oh.
Not sure I
If
followed
Democrats lose, do they win? I don't understand. What's the math here?
Yeah, maybe we should have lost, and that would have been a lot better.
That would have been a win.
I'm not sure I follow the logic, and we're not going to bother watching that garbage to find out what they mean, but we're going to guess it's basically echoing what people from both parties have been saying, which is basically that Zohran will fail, and once everyone sees how badly he fails, they'll vote straight ticket Republican. Well, yeah, okay, guess we'll see. But in a similar vein, here's conservative New York Times columnist Ross Douthat coping with the news by insisting that Mamdani's victory is less significant than you think. New York's next mayor won't save the Democrats. Okay, buddy. I guess let's just ignore that things went the Democrats' way in multiple other elections across the country on Tuesday, which we will get to in a sec after the crash outs.
Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Here's one that we had to go check to see if it was actually real. This is Rudy Giuliani on Facebook with an image of the burning Twin Towers on 9/11 superimposed with a photo of himself as mayor on that day with the captions, "It breaks my heart," and "New York, you forgot. You forgot!"
And they said never forget.
It's a good thing they replaced the Twin Towers with just one Freedom Tower. Mm-hmm. At least it'll just be one.
The one.
Just the one getting hit by a plane this time.
Yes.
Like, this is just, as ridiculous
It's just
as
more
it is,
racism.
it's just more fucking racism.
Yeah.
Like,
But
it's
it is
fucking
especially
crazy.
insane coming from the former New York City mayor who was mayor during the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah, like, I mean,
It's gross.
yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's
a
just-
disgusting post from a disgusting person.
Just like all the fucking Islamophobia and racism in this, I mean, New York City is maybe the most diverse city in America.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fuckload of Muslims there. They've been there a long time, pre 9/11, post 9/11.
Yeah.
And it's like,
They're looking at everyone like, what?
yeah, sorry, what? I'm just trying to fucking live over here
Mhm.
and sell like some really fucking delicious street food. Yeah. But I guess like it's like if you're gonna act this way towards Zohran, who's like clearly a very secular person, like it reveals a lot about how you view large swaths of the population
this
of
was
New York City.
It was very blatant that America broke the glass and said, pull the Muslim alarm. Like,
Yeah,
for the
it
past-
doesn't work
It
anymore.
doesn't work anymore. For the past month, if it worked, it would have done something because they tried very hard to.
If anything, I think it grossed
Backfired.
people out.
Yeah.
They're like, ew. what the
Because
fuck?
people who weren't around for like the really nasty stuff in the mid 2000s just got a taste of it, and they're like, "Wait,
Jesus.
people think that way?"
Oh yeah.
Because
That was like essentially our entire government's policy for 8 fucking years.
because in real life, especially if you live in a city and you interact with a bunch of different people, an eclectic mix of people from all over the world, typically people from other countries are the nicest fucking people you'll ever meet, especially compared to Americans born and raised here. So yeah, it doesn't really make sense with the reality that a lot of people are living, especially young people. So here's former professional baseball player and current right-wing nut job John Rocker. Taxis will be replaced by camels. Women will be forced to cover themselves head to toe. NYPD will be replaced with religious police. All hot dog stands will be replaced with goat meat stands. This is what you voted for. All right, shut up and hit the ball.
Well, he don't play no more.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think he was a pitcher. Not a...
All right, shut up and throw the ball. This guy is really racist. And not even hiding it. It's,
like burqas, head to toe. I don't know. Like I'm sure that person exists somewhere among New York's like 8 million residents. But I've been there many times, and I've never once seen that. Zohran and his wife seem to not be into that kind of thing. So it's just kind of weird that the existence of a Muslim in society in any form of political power triggers thoughts like this in your mind. Anyway, here's ex-user Wall Street Mav with another doomsday prophecy. It's 2027. I'm sitting on a New York City free bus. It was 2 hours late because of Free Palestine protests blocking traffic everywhere. Half the people on the bus look like they were recently released from Rikers. As I look out the window in despair, I see women mostly dressed with full burqa clothing. They look tired and defeated. There are no more dogs in New York City. They were banned because the Muslims find them offensive. But there are plenty of goats around. I cry as I see that the line for the city-owned bakery stretches nearly 2 blocks to receive their weekly bread rations. The last Starbucks in NYC closed 8 months ago.
Some of that sounds cool.
I mean...
The free bus and the Starbucks is all closing down.
Yeah, the Starbucks one is very funny. It's like...
And you can't even get Starbucks.
Oh my God, a Starbucks closing in New York City? Whatever shall I do?
I'll have to go to one of the 8 coffee shops on this one block of varying degrees of deliciousness that are much better than Starbucks.
Yeah.
Here's VTuber Nux Taku on just having a normal one. Trump was almost assassinated, and leftists were sad the shooter missed. Luigi Mangione murdered a man in cold blood and became a hero. Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and leftists celebrated his murder. Virginia Attorney General candidate fantasized about murdering conservatives and their little fascist children to receive waves of support and no condemnation. Zohran Mamdani allies himself with terrorists and became the mayor of New York City. Activist judges are releasing violent repeat offenders and rioters that assault police officers from prison. They want to kill you, not just on the fringe. It is the mainstream winning strategy. Plan accordingly.
Calm down.
Yeah, this is a VTuber? This isn't even a person who shows their face?
Yeah, it's a VTuber. Apparently, like, at one point, a pretty successful one, but kind of off the rails a bit in recent years. I don't know the lore, but I'm sure some of you do. Share it down below, please.
Yeah, let us know about this VTuber.
Then we got the always reliable New York Post.
Which, I mean, it sucks that the money's going to them, but woo, did they have a cover that just flew off the shelves.
They were ready. Yeah, people are buying this.
The red apple.
They're buying it ironically because it's just so over the top.
Yeah.
It's Zohran's face photoshopped onto some Soviet art of a person holding a big red hammer and sickle, and the caption reads, "On your marks, get set, Zoe." Socialist Mamdani wins race for mayor. The red apple. And then a little caption here. After a campaign that promised high taxes, free stuff, hating Israel, and vibes, socialist Zohran Mamdani romped to victory last night and will become the 111th mayor of New York City. And no, we're not mad. Don't put it in our newspaper that we're mad.
Delete that. Here's recently pardoned George Santos enjoying his life as a free man. Fuck you, Curtis Sliwa. I hate you. Your dumb wife, that stupid beret of yours, and all your fucking cats.
He has like 17 cats.
Well, that's fine. George Santos is supposed to be in prison. He shouldn't be tweeting at all.
I shouldn't be hearing your thoughts on this matter, George.
But aren't you supposed to be in Florida by now, George?
Also, like, the idea that Curtis Sliwa has hurt the New York Republican Party more than George Santos has is pretty fucking funny.
Uh-huh.
Here's Republican New York City Councilwoman Inna Vernikov. To everyone who voted for this radical jihadist freak show of a candidate, don't come crying to us rational people when widespread anti-Semitism, food insecurity, and a total breakdown of public safety come to your doorstep. Here's hoping that Donald Trump will be willing to send in federal enforcement before he can do too much damage.
Come on.
Literally, please invade my city. Hello, my constituents who I represent. I'm I'm literally begging the federal government to send troops
they'll
in.
do this, and then they'll
What
be
the
like,
fuck?
yeah, they'll beg them to send troops in, and then Trump will do it, and they'll be like, oh, look at the war zone that Mamdani has caused. Here's Laura Loomer.
Oh, good.
During his election victory speech, Zohran Mamdani called for the 1 million Muslims in New York City to acquire more political power. America is about to become a very violent country. Mamdani will encourage Muslims to commit political assassinations to acquire power and silence critics.
They're writing so much fucking fan fiction.
This is
in their
all under the impression that he is like some radical Islamist, like jihadist. Yeah. He's just a guy who happens to be Muslim.
Like, the only context he's even brought up this shit while campaigning at all has been, like, of course, like, acknowledging his own background and also just being like, yeah, there's a lot of Muslims and Arabs in New York City, and like, they deserve representation too.
Yeah.
We should probably listen to what they have to say, because a lot of them are very working class, and like, they have a lot of the same concerns as everyone else regarding how unaffordable this city is getting, and like how hard it is to operate a small business and all this other shit. And they're just like, what's that? You want to enact Sharia law? You're planning to assassinate Christians and Jews?
I mean, it's just a blatant example of how they view them as subhuman. The people that are talking like this do not believe that they have the right to want this.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Like, they're dehumanizing them.
Yeah. Here's Tennessee Republican congressman and kind of a George Santos light, because he lied about a bunch of stuff too. But it's Andy Ogles. This is a photo of Mamdani's home country, Uganda. This is what New York will look like after he's destroyed it. Deport him now! Yeah, and he had there was a lot of these from Andy Ogles. He also, the day before the election, he tweeted, "Wake up, New York!" And it's just a video from 9/11 of the planes crashing into the towers.
Wow, thanks, Andy. Thanks for the snuff film.
Yeah.
Great.
It's seared into my memory to this day, but always nice to just scroll on the timeline and watch that shit again.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And unfortunately, as much as we wanted it to be real, the headline, Alan Dershowitz says he will blow his brains out on live TV if Zohran Mamdani becomes NYC mayor, is not real.
Damn it!
But he's still having a really bad time. We are sure of it. And he did respond. And
if you can prove that I said that, I'll donate to Mamdani.
Yeah. This headline, though, here, this one is real. Andrew Cuomo did say he'd move to Florida if Zohran won, though his campaign later insisted he was just joking. A whole lot of other people made similar promises, though. The folks at Stop Anti-Semitism are here to help. NYC residents looking to relocate? Stop Anti-Semitism is happy to connect you to realtors in the following states who don't boast socialist, anti-Semitic mayors in their cities: Connecticut, Florida, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas. DM us or email us at info@stopantisemitism.org. We're here to help.
Well,
yeah,
there you go.
There's the offer. Get out.
Yeah. Let's see the Zillow listing.
And look, I'm not telling you to get out. You
said you were going to.
You are terrified of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you do not want to contribute to this beautiful, vibrant city that you take so much from without even realizing it.
Yeah. If you stay in New York City, you are essentially committing suicide, because otherwise you were exaggerating and being hysterical with all the shit you were saying before the election about what would happen if Mamdani won. So let's see the fucking Zillow listing, bitch. Yeah. Anyway, the Islamophobic hysteria over a Mamdani win, it certainly crossed party lines, particularly with ostensibly liberal folks like lol cow Eve Barlow saying shit like, "Jews of New York, take a leaf out of the pages of the Jews of London. Protect your buildings, safeguard your schools, train your own security teams, organize your own grassroots campaigns. This is serious, and it's time you learn from your scrappier cousins." Which, okay, a lot going on here. First off, you live in Los Angeles and have for a very long time. And if you actually spent any time whatsoever around synagogues in this country, you would know that American Jews already take security extremely seriously. So what the hell are you even talking about, lady?
This is a lady that got really upset when everyone kept calling her Fartlow, right?
Yeah. She's also like Amber Heard's best friend or former, I guess they broke up. But she, Eve Barlow, some of the funniest like Zionist hysteria tweets going back even like before October 7th. Like, I saw a sign that said no parking or free parking, and I panicked because I thought it said free Palestine.
Oh yeah.
Shit like that.
Mm.
Just
get that checked out.
Like, what I think she's like picturing Tom Hardy's character from like Peaky Blinders when she's talking about like. I'm not Jewish, but a lot of people look at this tweet and like, what the fuck? What is she referencing? It's just like,
just watch out. Just watch out.
Yeah,
Watch out.
Your scrappier cousins over in the UK. You could learn a thing or two from them.
Okay.
All right, Eve.
And meanwhile, liberal Zionist actress Deborah Messing of Will and Grace fame has been pretty quiet since the results came in, but on election day, she was posting an insane amount of Instagram stories. There was a lot of little dots up there at the top of the screen.
It was just dots up there.
Many of which were just straight up bigotry, like this one. In Judaism and Christianity, we are commanded to speak the truth. In Islam, they are commanded to lie if it means spreading Islam. Do not disregard this fundamental ideological difference. Now take a look at Mamdani. Apply that basic rule. Listen to his words. Then watch his actions. He's revealing their goal, mass conversion. These two opposing civilizations cannot coexist. Holy shit!
This is just a complex ploy by Zohran Mamdani to forcibly convert all of us into Islam. That's clearly what is going on here.
These people are all insane.
Yeah, like she's always sucked, but she's like really lost her mind lately. I went through her stories because I wanted to see if it was real. And the day of the election, it was crazy. Like half her posts were from like libs of TikTok, Turning Point USA, literally like screenshots of like Trump Truth Social posts. And it's like, lady, I thought you were this big lib. But I guess when it's convenient, you side with the conservatives when they're being just straight up Islamophobic.
Yeah. So here's another one from her stories showing a fake ballot where the options are a Democrat, just a Democrat, and an actual communist jihadist, a literal Karl Marx quoting America-hating jihadist. And, Islamophobia aside, this doesn't actually make sense. Mamdani was the only Democrat on the ballot, lady, but... she's not thinking. She's posted.
She was posting through it.
Yeah, it's take the phone away. Maybe go to a doctor, a mental health professional, because some of these people are displaying like very clear signs that they've lost a grip with reality. Yeah.
She was also like literally, she wasn't even in New York City while this was happening. She was in Israel, like accepting an award for LGBTQ representation for work on Will and Grace. And It's just like, it's so interesting, like this type of sort of like, particularly Gen X liberal, where they're just like very progressive, or at least surface level progressive on some topics. And then just like posting the most insane racist shit you've ever seen. And, they're very multifaceted, I guess.
It's strange to see all of this bubble up in unique ways where, you would think a lot of this would have, and it has bubbled up from time to time, but so much of it throughout the however many years we've had Trump as president, and then a Mamdani comes around, and you're getting takes that you couldn't even have predicted.
Yeah, the dormant Islamophobia.
It has, but like a cicada, like a brood X cicada.
It has like, oh, fuck.
It has really come to the surface in ways that are shocking even to me, having lived through the early and mid 2000s, where it was. I feel like it was maybe more subdued back then at this point.
No, it was pretty fucking bad.
Yeah,
but like, it's just crazy. I mean, once again, it's one of the few remaining bigotries that is still very socially acceptable.
God, I hope not. I wouldn't accept it around me.
I mean, I think it's a very generational thing at this point.
Yeah.
But
Gen X, mistakes were made.
Yeah. Oh, also, in case you were wondering, they are very mad over in Israel as well.
Okay.
Here's the Times of Israel. The election of Zohran Mamdani as mayor of New York will be remembered forever as a moment when anti-Semitism triumphed over common sense, declares National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, calling him a supporter of Hamas, a hater of Israel, and an avowed anti-Semite, and slamming his false claims that we are committing genocide in Gaza. This guy's a real fucking piece of shit, by the way. Like, actually deranged. Avigdor Lieberman, chairman of the hawkish Yisrael Beituni opposition party, likewise bemoans that the man who supported Hamas, attacked Israel, and blamed the West for all the world's troubles has been elected mayor of New York. Just 3 decades after the Twin Towers disaster, New York has elected a racist, populist, and openly Shiite Islamist as its mayor, Lieberman adds. Mamdani is the poster boy for the silent jihad, and his election is a wake-up call for New York Jews who want to immigrate to where they belong, the land of Israel. The Big Apple has fallen, Lieberman adds in English. They're using this as a marketing opportunity.
Yeah.
Now's your chance to leave the most Jewish city in the Western world outside of Israel to move to Israel, a great place that you're going to love.
I mean, I don't want to be the one to bring the reality back into the situation, but Israel in the United States are almost certainly cooking something up for the land that just became openly available to them. So, yeah, I could see that this is probably a marketing thing for them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, Trump is big on Gaza, although like that whole plan, much like Jared Kushner's plan from the first term, it's like a fucking infographic that doesn't make any actual sense on like a fundamental level. So the Gaza Riviera, I mean, obviously they're working on it, but like I don't think it's coming anytime soon. But meanwhile, Trump is just like, yeah, no, you can't annex the West Bank. You can't fucking do it. So that's at least interesting. He's like, no, if you annex the West Bank, bad things are going to happen. And he's right.
Yeah. But of course, also crashing out was the man that we just spoke of, Donald Trump himself, who might be beginning to realize just how despised he currently is and how screwed his party is in next year's midterm elections. Because across the board, this was
a blue wave.
This was very bad for the Republicans.
Things are trending left.
And we'll get to that and the results from the other races on Tuesday in just a moment, but we got to stop here and take a break and let you know that this episode is sponsored, and it's sponsored by Raycon. Keep your ears open and your holiday playlists rolling with Raycon's essential open earbuds.
I got them right here.
These open ear earbuds let you stay connected to your surroundings while enjoying your favorite music, podcasts, or calls. Perfect for a jog, commute, or just kicking back. And this Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you can save up to 30% on all Raycon audio products.
Raycon's essential open earbuds keep your ears open while still delivering crystal clear sound. They sit just outside your ear canals so you can stay tuned in to traffic, coworkers, or whatever's happening around you without losing out on music or podcast quality. Lightweight and all-day comfortable, they never feel bulky, and the secure fit means they stay put, whether at the gym, out on a walk, or grinding through a to-do list. Here's the kicker. Raycon delivers the same premium audio quality as the big brands, but at half the price. Add in over 3 million happy customers and a 30-day happiness guarantee, and there's zero reason to overpay.
The open ear design for these earbuds provide a breathable fit that delivers comfort, safety, and immersive audio while keeping you aware. These earbuds are ultralight with a flexible ear hook that adapts to any ear for all-day comfort and awareness. And they also feature multi-point connectivity. Connect to multiple devices and switch seamlessly without hassle. And our favorite part, the 36 hours of battery life. 8-hour earbuds plus 36-hour case equals days of nonstop listening. And Black Friday is right around the corner. Raycon audio products are up to 30% off site-wide. From everyday essentials to the latest releases, it is the perfect time to upgrade your sound or get ahead on gifting. These early deals won't last long, so shop now before they're gone. Go to buyraycon.com/newsdayopen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide.
And this episode is sponsored by Shopify, the best platform for shopping, hosting your own business, which we're doing with our merch store, and keeping track of all of your shipments in one place. There's a ton of amazing duos out there in the world. We're a perfect example, but the best duo is, of course, Shopify and you. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow.
Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to other leading commerce platforms. No matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything that you need to take control and take your business to the next level. We love Shopify's simple and easy to use app because it keeps track of all your online shipments, and you can even connect other platforms so that all your tracking is in one place.
Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries.
Cha-ching!
Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support your success every step of the way, because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/newsday, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/newsday now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/newsday.
All right, back to the news now, and Zohran Mamdani's win wasn't the only news to come out of Tuesday night. A left-wing Democrat winning in New York City really doesn't tell you much about the political landscape of the rest of the country, but big political shifts in multiple states seem to indicate a trend. For example, in the Virginia governor's race, the state flipped blue, and it wasn't even close. Democrat Abigail Spanberger won 57% to 43%, and Democrat candidates for attorney general and lieutenant governor won by similar margins. Virginia was a blue state in the 2024 election, though not by a huge margin. And compared to the results from that election, Virginia has gone a lot more blue in just a year's time, with every county trending left. I wonder if there's any reason. Maybe it's because people have very short-term memories and they need to be reminded why Trump is a fucking evil asshole.
Yeah. I mean, I think 2024 will go down as a very consequential fluke.
They did, people did, and look, things were very far from perfect.
Yeah.
Very far from perfect. But as far as like America bouncing back from a global pandemic, things were doing okay. Now they're not. So a similar trend was seen in New Jersey, where Democratic gubernatorial candidate Mickey Sherrill won by a pretty decisive margin. And here in California, baby, this was like, I was actually kind of worried about this. California is weird.
Yeah, no, California is conservative in its own particular way, I would say, in a way that out-of-staters don't really understand. But I was pretty confident this would work out for us.
Yeah, Prop 50, which basically says that we will gerrymander the Republicans out of existence if Texas tries to alter its congressional maps, that passed by a nearly 2-1 margin.
Yeah, I was dropping my ballot in the box literally in the final hour of voting, but like at least in my neighborhood, I was not alone. There was a lot of people, and it's literally I when I opened it up, I was like, surely there's anything else on this ballot. No, it's literally just this
the one thing to vote for. They send you a book of like the voter's guide.
Yeah.
And it's just one thing to vote for.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, just literally one box to fill out.
Yeah.
But I mean,
this time actually I got a because I put mine in the box, a couple days ago for last Friday or last week or whatever. But they actually sent me a text message to remind me that it hadn't been submitted yet this time.
Oh, I didn't get any.
It was like last week. It was like, hey, we don't have it got a text like the state thing has not recorded your ballot yet. And then when I did, it was like, yesterday or Tuesday or whatever, it gave me the alert that it had been counted. But a very good system we have here.
Yeah. I mean, turnout was like 8 or 9 million, which like is very low, but it's also, this is
off year.
Yeah, literally.
It's not even a midterm year.
Yeah, so the fact that there was turnout really at all was kind of surprising, and it was all, I assume, people who understand the situation.
It was uniquely funny and interesting here in California because when the initial marketing push for and against Prop 50 went out, there was so much money being spent against Prop 50, and then that stopped. Like, they were just like, okay, well, I think this is a waste of money.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Gavin Newsom credit on this one in particular. Like, he was very good at selling this to the public.
And it gives people something to feel good about briefly, even though it's, not really.
Yeah, and it does legitimately foil some truly evil plans that Greg Abbott was cooking up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's 2 purplish blue states, New Jersey and Virginia, and 1 very blue state, California. But it would seem to indicate a larger trend. And here's NPR with how things played out in smaller races across the country. In Georgia, Peter Hubbard and Alicia Johnson will be the newest members of the state's 5-person public utility regulator after earning roughly 60% of the vote. It's the first time Democrats have won a non-federal statewide office there since 2006, and one where soaring energy costs and displeasure with incumbents dominate the race. Pennsylvania voters chose to retain 3 state Supreme Court judges that were first elected as Democrats after millions of dollars in outside spending driven by conservative billionaire Jeff Yoss's efforts to reshape the state's court politics. Democrats also won special elections for a seat on Pennsylvania's Supreme Court and a seat on its Commonwealth Court. Also in Pennsylvania, Democrats swept the top row offices in the purple-hued Bucks County, electing the county's first-ever Democratic district attorney and defeating an incumbent Republican sheriff a year after Trump narrowly won there. Democrats similarly notched commanding victories in county executive races in Erie, Lehigh, and Northampton counties, all bellwether counties in recent presidential elections.
At the state legislative level, Mississippi Democrats have broken a GOP supermajority in the state Senate after flipping 2 seats in that chamber, plus another pickup in the state House. A federal court ordered lawmakers to redraw 14 total House and Senate districts after finding the maps drawn in 2022 discriminated against black voters. In many local races across the country, Democrats touted victories that will reshape their communities, like the flipping of all 3 city council seats in Georgetown, South Carolina, the unseating of the last remaining Republican city council member in Orlando, Florida, and winning back mayoral races in Connecticut. For the first time in a half-century, Democrats control the Onondaga County legislature that includes Syracuse, New York. Democrats saw a city council seat in Charlotte, North Carolina, switch parties for the first time since 1999. Democrats across the ideological spectrum won too. Beyond Mamdani's victory in New York City, the Democratic Socialists of America touted municipal wins for members in Detroit, Atlanta, and Cambridge, Massachusetts, among others.
So yeah, I mean, it would seem that nationwide there appears to be a trend here, and it shouldn't really be surprising to anyone.
Put the woke back in!
I better see those pronouns back in your email by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Woke is fucking back.
Woke is back, baby.
As much as the Republicans and much of the media want to frame the results of 2024 as a decisive victory for the MAGA movement and a huge cultural shift away from progressivism, Trump didn't really win by much. And people mainly voted for him because Joe Biden and the Democrats fucking blew it, and voters believed Trump when he said that he was going to make groceries cheaper. A year later, none of Trump's economic promises have come true, and even your average voter is getting a hunch that maybe he's a fascist who's really bad at being president.
Yeah, and even if maybe they don't agree with a lot of the Democratic policies, they would just prefer to have things be relatively normal, even if that means they have to have cheaper healthcare. God damn it!
Yeah, I mean, it really can't be overstated how much Joe Biden being visibly senile, fucked the Democrats, and then when they had,
and then them trying to cover it up,
and then when they had a opportunity for a Hail Mary, the person they appointed to that role was like, I will be exactly the same as Joe Biden.
Zero
just
difference.
younger.
Yeah.
There will be no differences whatsoever in policy. Completely fucking blew it. But yeah, in general, the Democrats remain unpopular, deservedly. But clearly a lot of that unpopularity is coming from people who are begging them for a reason to like them. It's not people who like are rejecting Democrats because they're too left-wing. I mean, those people certainly exist, but a lot of these people are like, no, I want the Democrats to run on policies I like.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do whatever the fuck it is they're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems pretty fucking easy, and it should be an example that Democrats that are serious about winning next year should follow. Because it turns out that these concerns that they brushed away during 2024 are real, based on the voter turnout, specifically in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, as for Trump's reaction to all of this, here's ABC News. After a wave of stinging results in several state contests, in an election considered a referendum on him and Republicans, President Donald Trump has tried to dismiss the bad news. Trump wasn't on the ballot and shut down were the 2 reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight, according to pollsters, he posted, but not naming the pollsters. Later, he again called for getting rid of mail-in ballots and eliminating the filibuster, which he says would allow Senate Republicans to end the 35-day government shutdown. Pass voter reform, voter ID, no mail-in ballots, save our Supreme Court from packing, no 2-state addition, etc. Terminate the filibuster, Trump said in his post on social media platform.
He's
got a lot of requests, and he's making sure he's getting them all out.
got a lot of very coherent thoughts on his mind at once.
Yeah. He can't figure out what he's upset about first.
This is peak cognitive
But he
performance.
knows that it's not his fault.
No. If he'd been on the ballot, things would have gone different.
Yeah.
Like Mark Wahlberg on 9/11. If Trump had been on that ballot, things would have gone
Mark
different.
Wahlberg would have been in New York City on Tuesday. Things wouldn't have gone down like they did. Because he does like beating up foreigners.
Yeah. A lot of celebrities, random celebrities, really showing their ass. Like 50 Cent and Ryan Adams.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what?
just
I did not need. No one needed to hear from you on this, and I guess you'd love Andrew. What the fuck?
This is getting back to what I was saying, where there's still surprises left.
Yeah,
where you're just like, really, you're gonna sacrifice whatever it is that you have.
No one was asking you what you thought about this.
For this to be your thing, for Andrew Cuomo to be the hill that you die on. What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
you fuck.
If you want to be a crank, be a Curtis Sliwa crank. He's at least fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can be like, I would be like, oh, well, Ryan Adams just got caught up in the emotions. Of everything. Like, clearly but no, Cuomo, get out of here.
Anyway, article continues. Trump reiterated those points on Wednesday morning as he hosted Senate Republicans at the White House, where again, he downplayed the losses but admitted it was bad for Republicans. Last night it was, not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody, he told lawmakers gathered for breakfast. But I thought we'd have a discussion after the press leaves about what last night represented and what we should do about it. And also about the shutdown and how that relates to last night. I think if you read the pollsters, the shutdown was a big factor. Negative for the Republicans, he said.
Yeah, and then I guess I would assume that Mike Johnson went up and went, sir, we cannot end the shutdown because if we end the shutdown, I have to confirm Grivalda and they're going to vote to release the Epstein files. Oh, well, last night wasn't really a referendum on the shutdown after all. What can I say? I don't want those files getting out. But yeah. No shit. This was bad. I mean, you can rant all day about how it's the Democrats' fault for the government shutdown, but it's not. But when you control the entire federal government, it rings pretty hollow for the average voter to be like, whose fault could this possibly be?
Yeah.
Especially when you see the Republicans grandstanding it. Like having printed out things on their lectern. Like,
literally
Democrats did
putting
this.
it on every government website, putting it on the TSA screens.
My
at the
aunt
airport.
called me to ask about why there was a big banner on the National Park Service website saying that it was the Democrats' fault for it being shut down.
It's like, and they're not even doing it in a way, like, I think there is a way to do that you could, like, get one over on your average idiot, but, like, it's written in such a, like, vindictive way where, like, I feel like most people would be like,
what the fuck?
That sounds like they're leaving some information out.
That's what's like, it's a weird angle to all of this is that like so many people are uninformed that them visiting the National Park Service website to go camping one weekend might be the first time they realize that the government is shut down.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, to the extent that it's Democrats' fault, it's because they're fighting to defend social programs that huge portions, including a lot of Republicans in this country, rely on to survive. It seems like Trump and the Republicans are starting to maybe realize that the longer this goes on, the worse it reflects on them. But that's still not stopping Trump from threatening to withhold SNAP benefits despite a judge telling him that he had to keep paying them out. 42 million people in this country are still unsure about whether they can afford to feed themselves. And even in the best case scenario right now, they're only getting partial SNAP benefits during the shutdown. The USDA is even apparently telling grocery stores they're not allowed to offer discounts to people with SNAP benefit cards. And, I mean, it's obvious that the cruelty seems to be the point.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you to everyone who has contributed to our fundraiser for Feeding America. It really means a lot. It's going to benefit a lot of people, so thank you very much. It'll end this weekend, and then YouTube will do its thing where they transfer it over to Feeding America, and we cannot thank you enough for being so generous.
It's a lot of food that y'all bought.
And we really appreciate it. I mean, this show, like, it's a dumb news show, but when we do these fundraisers, it always shows that we can do good things. And this episode proves that good things can happen in the world.
A better world is possible, damn it.
As long as you stop dragging your fucking feet.
Yeah. Oh, also regarding the shutdown, this is great news for me specifically. They're like, starting on Friday,
they're restricting.
Starting on Friday, we're just gonna cancel like 10% of flights. I'm like,
he's going out of town.
Oh, cool. I'm supposed to be on a plane on Friday, so I guess we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping since mine is a international flight.
I mean, it's barely international. You're just going to Mexico.
That's another country.
Yeah, I know.
As Trump would like to keep it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I would just say
I'm getting worried.
It would be a lot more of.
I was already planning on showing up to the airport like 3.5 hours before.
I just say
takeoff.
it'd be a much worse issue if you were flying 12 hours to Europe and something happened versus
Yeah. I don't really want to drive to Cabo. I'd like the plane to take me there.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for the donations. We will, of course, be back for another episode this week before Elliot heads out of the country. But in the meantime, please check out our other videos and like this video. Click the like button.
Like it. You liked it, didn't you?
If you feel like becoming a member for some reason now, after all these many months of us asking, we're not going to say no. You can click the join button.
Or you can give that money to Feeding America.
Yeah, do both. Check out our other videos that are popping up, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.